I certainly had a lot of debt. I think Forbes coined the term Henry, high income, not rich yet. So I was a Henry. I had very high income, and I focused on the I more than the fi. I felt like I was an independent woman. I could buy what I wanted, but I was spending all of it. And so I had, $20,000 of credit card debt. I had a luxury car at age 24. I lived in a midtown apartment. I had designer shoes, designer clothes. So I had a ton of consumer debt, which was important in my FI story because every month it was just a matter of me balancing my income with minimum payments, but never actually paying down the debt. And so I just didn't feel rich, even though I was making well over, average income. I think it came from what I'd seen growing up. In my house, we had money, but money was meant to be spent. And so I didn't have that example of like, here's what happens when you get a paycheck. You set some aside and you spend the rest. It came from him, honestly. It wasn't until we started dating, we went on a vacation and I used my credit card to pay for it. And he made this statement, like, if I had known you were gonna use your credit card, if you had credit card debt, I never would have dated you. Right. Right. Awful thing to say. But it was the wake up call that I needed because I didn't understand the magnitude of debt. I didn't understand what that says about me as a person, that I am spending money that I don't have. And that's kind of where I started to make it an emergency in my life to fix.
Can I just clarify? I did say that, but it wasn't. It was because I'd been in a situation where I was in a relationship with someone that had a lot of debt, and I just knew where this ended up, and I knew where I was going, and that the two just did not mesh. And so, you can't have one person that is all about trying to gain financial independence and very strict and investing, and the other person is, for lack of a better word, reckless or just not paying attention to those things. And so it wasn't an ultimatum, but it said, this is something I believe in. And if you believe in that, then let's do this together. I think the middle class person that's able to save, let's say, a year's salary, achieving that sort of milestone, I think should give you a greater sense of control. It's very easy, particularly when you are a cog in the machine, to not really feel like you're in control. But when you are able to save up that degree of money and you have control over it and you own it, you have a greater sense of control over your life. You know that if something happened, you're able to respond without completely disrupting your life. You know that when you do have an opportunity to do something great, you're able to do that in a way that is really meaningful. And you may or may not have to make certain trade-offs that allow you to fully optimize an opportunity. And so it could be you want to take a cruise with your family, but you're now able to get a room with the balcony. Those little things can make such a big difference in that experience and create memories for you or your kids or your grandparents or whoever you're enjoying that with. And I think that feeling becomes addictive. You want to do it again. And when you realize that you can do those things and that there's a direct connection between your ability to put these principles into action and your ability to enjoy a greater life, that's a very empowering thing.